no matter where you are, no matter when you are. Good morning, friends. So, hello, welcome. I'm a day late. It's Thursday, not Wednesday. Things happen. Now, I want to start off by saying we're close to the end of summer, another 2.5 weeks, and we'll be back in the classroom together, so it's been super fun this first summer making videos. Next summer, I plan to continue this exact same thing throughout the year. I might even upload to this channel to do little in-depth deep dives on things I find important or topics I find interesting. I might even want to start recording some of my lesson plans. So keep in tune and check in every now and then throughout the year for those types of things. Until then, let's get these last 2 weeks out of the way. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, especially the liking and the commenting. Those ones really help. All right, friends, so we're going to start off our story with something I find very, very important. So, exactly like it says, every school child learns the name Mesopotamia, the Fertile Crescent, the cradle of civilization. And look, this image is something we're probably pretty used to seeing. So, well, today, unfortunately, much of the land is literally dust. This is a climate story that New York Times put on with really jarring images explaining how climate in the Fertile Crescent and how Mesopotamia is really being hit. This is something that there are people slowly dying because how hot it is and how little clean water they have access to. This used to be a place of water, and then over time salt hardened over the top of it and killed everything around it and the water. We see the cattle cannot survive in this extreme heat. We're seeing people not being able to eat because their cattle can't survive in this extreme heat. About 40% of Iraq is roughly the area of Florida has been overtaken by blowing desert sands that claim thousands of acres of unarable land every year. That's insane. The size of Florida is unfarmable. We see people dying because they don't have clean water. We see people having to breathe in air that looks like this every single day in overcrowded cities. Rivers and canals have dried up. We see that low Islamic State militants cross easily, attacking villages and things like that. Sorry, I grabbed a fly out of the air, friends. We see fish farmers have threatened the government regulators who have tried to close them down for violating water restrictions because, hey man, if it's that hot, you probably shouldn't be using so much water. The country is changing in some pretty gnarly ways due to climate change. So it's important that we understand this affects a lot of people. This is huge. This is a story unlike any other. This is where the world started. This is civilization's start point, is Mesopotamia. The idea of that slowly disappearing and becoming no more is a scary thought. The fact that it's going to be taught for the rest of human civilization, but yet it might not be around for human civilization is super scary. So hopefully we're able to figure out something there and we're able to track it down and really be able to fix it moving forward with smart initiatives, better funding towards environmental protection, recycling. The very everyday things that we can try to do our part of is exactly what we should do here to try to prevent the world from losing such an important piece of our history. So, now that that very important story is done, our last remaining 4 stories are very lighthearted, and I want to talk about some fun stuff, which if you haven't heard about this one yet, oh boy. So in China, there's a zoo that's facing allegations that they're, what is this type of bear? Sun bear is a man in a costume because of this. Oh, full screen does not work. And it's just showing Mesopotamia. Give me a second, friends. Huh, wonder why it's doing this. Let me just go ahead and change this. And there we go. Sorry about that delay. So if you see right here, this is what started the controversy. That image where look at all those. I am sorry to say this. Let me preference that now. Look at all them extra butt folds. What you got going on, man? That does not look like a bear, which is what caused this controversy. It literally does look like a man in a bear suit. Unfortunately, it's not. It seems to actually be a real sun bear. Sun bears are the smallest bears that there are, and they have a lot of excess skin to help them get away from predators if they're caught. So in reality, it probably is just a bear. But it was so funny to see this, and it like waving at people, and then people are like, well, that's obviously a guy, but in reality, it's a bear. And I thought that was really funny. Moving on to another story that's quite interesting. Taylor Swift, I'm sure you all know who she is. Did you know that about 5 days ago, her concert, I believe it was in Seattle. Yeah, in Seattle, set off the equivalent of a 2.3 magnitude earthquake at her concert because of how loud and how much people were jumping up and down and shaking it off, you may say. But in reality, look at that. Isn't that crazy? Taylor Swift. There's a small earthquake in 2011. Here's Taylor Swift in 2023. That's so funny. Luckily, no one's hurt by this, but it's crazy that a concert could set off the equivalent of a 2.3 magnitude earthquake. So I wanted to share that because that's hilarious. Now, our last story of the day, the Barbie movie has passed 80 million. Did you hear that mistake? Because it's not 80 million, it's 800 million worldwide at the box office. 800 million. I can't comprehend that number. I mean, I can, but I can't. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine holding or looking at 800 million anything. Well, I couldn't hold 800 million anything. I don't even think, like, atoms. So, like, whoa, you know? Whoa. Now, on top of that, the fact that, you know, Barbie made 80 million. I said 80 again. 800. I'm trying to underplay it. Excuse me. I do not mean to break down the agenda positively that they are trying to promote. I'm not trying to commit more atrocities due to the patriarchy. So, and then lastly, did you know that the Barbie film, because of it making $800 million, is now the highest grossing movie ever directed by a woman? Holy cow. Greta Gerwig's Barbie movie has made film history as the highest grossing film directed by a woman. Golf claps for her because I don't want my microphone to break. That's so amazing. That movie is so funny and so good. I really hope you got a chance to see it if you wanted to. If you haven't yet and you want to, make sure you try to go see it. It's really good. That's the news for this week, friends. Like I said, one important story about Mesopotamia, the Fertile Crescent, and then we had these four that are a little bit more uplifting and fun. So thank you for sticking around if you did. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. As of right now, I got to get going, friends. I got to go fight Abe Lincoln inside the Bat Cave over the lucky Rusty Penny. Bye.